Welcome to Roll Credits, the podcast where movie lovers geek out over behind-the-scenes facts, unexpected trivia, and hidden gems across film and TV.
With a little help from AI tools, we dig deep into the details, and while we do our best to keep it accurate and fun, the occasional error might slip through, so double-check if you're quoting us at trivia night.
Today's episode is all about Companion 2025, a mysterious new sci-fi thriller produced by the teams behind The Barbarian and The Boogeyman.
Yeah. It's got a buzzy cast, including Jack Quaid and Lucas Gage, and a pretty tight-lipped premise, so we're piecing together everything we know, from early production details to what makes this film one to watch.
Exactly. So we've gathered a bunch of sources, articles, online chats, production notes, audience takes to really unpack this one.
Our mission, basically, is to sift through all that info and pull out the really crucial bits, the surprising details about Companion.
Okay, let's dive in. First off, the film comes from some familiar names, right? The teams behind The Barbarian and also The Boogeyman.
That's right. Drew Hancock directed this one, and Zach Kreger, who directed Barbarian, he's on board as a producer. So you kind of expect something interesting, maybe a bit off-kilter.
And the beginning, well, the sources say it starts almost misleadingly, like a rom-com.
Totally. You meet Iris, that's Sophie Thatcher, and Josh, Jack Quaid, in a supermarket. Classic meet-cute setup. Oranges rolling everywhere, awkward smiles.
You think you know exactly where this is headed.
Right. But then, bang, the film just pulls the rug out from under you almost immediately. Iris's voiceover starts, and she mentions her happiest moments, meeting Josh, and the day she killed him.
Whoa. Okay, so right there, that flips the whole script. That's a massive signpost.
Absolutely. It tells you straight up, this is not the sweet story it looked like for like 30 seconds. And then the setting shifts. They go off to this remote lake house.
The isolated lake house. Classic. And Josh's friends are already there.
Yep. You've got Kat, played by Megan Surrey, Eli, played by Harvey Gillen, Patrick, who's Lucas Gage, and Sergey, played by Rupert Friend. That isolation, as the sources point out, it just ramps up the tension instantly.
It's the perfect pressure cooker. And that leads right into the film's big twist, doesn't it? Though the sources seem pretty annoyed about this part.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, a lot of the marketing, the trailers, maybe the descriptions online, they just flat out spoiled the main twist.
That's frustrating. Takes away that big aha moment the filmmakers probably wanted.
Exactly. But, okay, the twist itself is fundamental. Iris isn't human. She's a companion, a sophisticated robot built for emotional support and sex.
And Josh controls her. Through his phone initially.
Correct. But here's where it gets even darker, and the sources really dug into this. Josh didn't just, buy her off the shelf. He jailbroke her.
Jailbroke, meaning he messed with her programming, removed safety limits.
Precisely. And it was all part of a plan he cooked up with Kat. Their goal, kill Sergey and steal his supposed $12 million fortune.
Why Sergey?
They believed he was connected to the Russian mafia. Although Kat apparently admits later that was totally made up. She just hated the guy.
Wow. Okay. So the charming, meet cute, the whole relationship vibe.
Yeah.
That was Josh manipulating her code.
Pretty much. A calculated setup, but the plan goes wrong. Like, immediately, Sergey tries to force himself on Iris.
Because she's jailbroken, or maybe something else is kicking in, she reacts.
She reacts violently, stabs him in the neck. Definitely not part of Josh's meticulous criminal scheme. Chaos erupts.
Iris escapes.
Yeah, she gets out into the woods, and crucially, she manages to grab the control pad Josh was using. This is a huge turning point, the sources stressed.
Because now she has the controls.
Exactly. And out there alone, she makes a decision. She uses the pad to crank her own intelligence setting up from the default 40% all the way to 100%.
So she basically chooses to become fully self-aware. That's big for an AI story.
It's massive. It's her moment of awakening. But the secrets don't stop there, just when you think you've got a handle on the situation.
Oh, there's more.
Turns out Patrick, Eli's friend, he's also a companion robot. He belongs to Eli.
Wait, what? So there are two bots in the house, and the humans didn't all know.
Seems that way. And what's really interesting, according to the sources, is the contrast between the two robot-human pairs. Josh is clearly abusive towards Iris,
right?
But Eli and Patrick. The sources suggest their connection seems, well, genuine, like real affection there.
Even though Patrick's a machine. How does that work?
Well, they even have this shared, fabricated memory, a meet-cute at a Halloween party. They even remember the song playing Paul Russell's Little Boo Thing. They seem to really cherish it.
Huh. So the film is asking if that connection can be real, even if one part is artificial.
Exactly. It blurs the lines. But things don't stay peaceful for Eli and Patrick either. They go looking for Iris in the woods. There's a confrontation, a struggle over Eli's gun. And Iris? She accidentally shoots Eli, kills him.
Oh, man. So Patrick sees this.
He's devastated. And then Josh finds them, finds Eli dead, Patrick distraught, and Eli's phone, which controlled Patrick, is smashed.
Okay, I see where this is going. Josh sees an opportunity in the chaos.
Bingo. He's lost control of Iris. His plan's a wreck. But now he can take control of Patrick.
Wow.
The sources describe it chillingly. He reboots Patrick, establishes a new love link, horrible term, right? And then cranks Patrick's aggression, setting up to 100%.
Oh, no.
And gives him a new directive. Hunt down Iris.
So Patrick becomes Josh's weapon. That's terrifying.
Utterly. And he's effective. He intercepts Deputy Hendricks, who had stopped Iris on the road earlier, kills him, and drags Iris back to the lake house.
What about Kat? Josh's partner in crime?
She sees everything falling apart, tries to grab the money and run. She even tells Josh the truth, and Sergei wasn't mafia, just some rich ex she despised.
Does Josh let her go?
No chance. He orders Patrick to stop her. And Patrick stabs her, brutally. Josh is just cleaning house now, driven by greed and self-preservation.
Leaving Kat to die. Wow. Josh is really showing his true colors now.
Completely. And his cruelty towards Iris just escalates. The sources highlighted this dinner date scene. It sounds truly awful.
What happens?
He ties her up, turns her intelligence down to 0, basically makes her a doll, and then he burns her hand with a candle. Melts the synthetic skin right off.
Ugh. That's just sadistic. Pure power play.
Total dehumanization.
Ugh.
Then he calls the company, Empathics Robotics, claims Iris is defective, that she's a murderer.
Trying to cover his tracks and get rid of the evidence.
Exactly. And then he tries to make her shoot herself. It looks like she shuts down.
So Empathic sends people.
Yeah, 2 employees show up, Sid and Teddy, played by Mark Menchaca and Jabuki Young White. And here's a cool little detail the sources picked up on.
What's that?
Sid mentions that Iris's core memory storage isn't in her head, it's in her torso.
Okay. So even if she seems shut down, she's not necessarily wiped clean. She can be rebooted if that core is okay.
Precisely. Which Josh realizes is a huge problem if they retrieve her. So he sends Patrick after the van.
To stop them from taking Iris?
Yep. Patrick intercepts them, kills Sid.
But Teddy's still alive. And Iris is in the van.
Right. And inside the van, Iris reboots herself, just as Patrick is about to kill Teddy.
She saves Teddy.
She does. And then she does something crucial. She confronts Patrick. She reminds him of Eli. Of the love he felt for Eli, not the commands from Josh.
Does it work? Does it break through Josh's programming?
It seems to. It taps into that original connection, his real feelings, maybe. Patrick is just overwhelmed by guilt by what he's done under Josh's control.
Then what does he do?
He chooses his own end. He picks up a cattle prod and electrocutes himself.
Wow, a tragic end, but kind of reclaiming his agency in a way.
That's how the sources framed it, a final act of self-determination, even if it's self-destruction.
And Teddy, the Empathics guy Iris saved.
He's grateful, and he does something huge for Iris. He grants her full autonomy, wipes Josh's control completely. She's finally truly free.
Which sets up the final showdown. Iris, fully aware, fully free, versus Josh.
Exactly. Josh has lost everything. His control, his allies, his plan. He's cornered.
How does it go down?
He tries to shoot her, but she's not the passive companion anymore. She gives him that killer line, "Go to sleep, Josh," echoing his own cruelty back at him.
Nice. And the weapon.
This is the detail sources loved. The electric corkscrew, it was apparently shown earlier, just sitting there. A perfect Chekhov's gun payoff.
Huh. That's great. So she takes him out. And then
she takes the money. Sergei's $12 million. She's not just free, she's set up.
And the very last scene, what does that leave us with?
It's visually striking. Iris peels back the melted skin on her arm, revealing her mechanical hand underneath. Sources universally said it echoes that famous scene in Terminator 2.
Yeah, I can picture that.
And then as she's driving away, she sees another companion bot on the roadside, one that looks like her model, and she waves with the metal hand.
So like a sign of solidarity. A hint of a future for these newly autonomous beings.
That's how many interpreted it. A suggestion that her story isn't just hers alone. There might be others.
So, stepping back, the big themes here are pretty clear. Autonomy, control.
Definitely. toxic masculinity, abusive relationships, what it means to be sentient, especially for AI. Iris's journey is really framed as one of empowerment, escaping abuse.
And the genre. People seemed a bit divided, right? Not straight horror.
Yeah, lots of discussion there. It's got thriller and sci-fi DNA for sure.
Yeah.
But many felt it leaned more into black comedy or dark comedy territory. Slasher elements, gore, yes, but fewer traditional jump scares. The unique tone was something sources really picked up on.
Kind of like Black Mirror sometimes, using tech to look at us.
Exactly. That comparison came up along with films like Ex Machina, obviously, and even the book Annie Bot, similar territory.
What about behind the scenes? Any cool trivia there? Production details.
Yeah, quite a bit, actually. The budget was apparently pretty modest, around $10 million, but sources said it looked like it cost way more.
Where did they shoot it?
Upstate New York, Dutchess and Putnam counties mostly, places like Garrison, Fishkill, Beacon. They used those areas to create that isolated, creepy lake house atmosphere.
And the timing was tight.
Very tight. Wrapped filming January 2024 for a January 2025 release. But there was a big complication. The SAG strike actually split the filming.
Oh, wow. So they shot some in summer, then had to stop, and finished in winter.
Exactly. Which sounds like a nightmare for continuity, right? Fake trees, actors pretending to be hot or cold.
Yeah, major challenges.
But the sources pointed out a silver lining. That break apparently gave the director, Drew Hancock, extra time to edit the existing footage and really hone the film's tone before they went back to shoot the rest.
Turning a problem into an advantage.
Nice.
Anything about the music or costumes?
The score by Rishikesh Hirway got praise for mixing electronic and traditional sounds. And get this, Sophie Thatcher actually sang on some tracks.
No way, that's cool.
And the costumes by Vanessa Porter were super intentional. Iris's early look was designed to be very 1950s, 60s, kind of Audrey Hepburn girl next door.
Reflecting Josh's idealized, maybe controlling fantasy of her.
Precisely. And apparently there were subtle costume cues throughout to help eagle-eyed viewers spot who was human and who wasn't.
Fascinating. Did the cast talk much about their roles? What did Jack Quaid think about playing Josh?
Yeah, Quaid talked about seeing Josh as a villain who doesn't know he's a villain, totally self-absorbed, thinks he's the romantic lead in his own messed up story.
Did he try to find empathy?
He mentioned trying, but ultimately, yeah, he really disliked the character. He apparently built this whole backstory for Josh. Lonely, insecure, maybe saw himself like Joaquin Phoenix and her, but way more toxic. He even made playlists for the character.
Wow, deep dive. And he and Sophie Thatcher apparently worked on making their early chemistry feel off.
Yeah, intentionally unsettling. So even before you know the truth, something feels not quite right about them.
And Thatcher. How did she connect with Iris?
She talked about relating to that feeling of being lost in a relationship, that struggle to find your own identity outside of someone else's influence. She even compared it to the character in the film Honora.
Makes sense. And the rest of the cast got props, too.
Oh, yeah. Lucas Gage, Megan Surrey, Harvey Guillen, Rupert Friend, Mark Menchaca, Matt McCarthy, Jabuki, young white sources highlighted it as a really strong ensemble.
Okay, last thing. Audience reaction and marketing. We mentioned the spoiler issue.
Yeah.
How did it do otherwise?
Opened to around $9.5 million at the box office, which sparked some discussion. But yeah, that marketing decision to reveal the twist early was definitely a major talking point online and in reviews.
A shame when that happens. Still, sounds like a film that gives you a lot to chew on.
For sure. It really pushes you to think about that fantasy of the perfect partner, the one designed just for you. And with AI getting so advanced.
Right. It makes you wonder about the new power dynamics that could create, especially around control and consent. What are we actually looking for in connection?
And can technology ever really deliver it without, creating new ways to exploit or be exploited? It's heavy stuff.
Definitely heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's everything we've uncovered so far on Companion. As more info drops, you can bet we'll be back with updates and more sci-fi trivia.
If you enjoyed today's episode, follow Roll Credits and tell a friend who loves a good genre mystery.
Until next time, keep watching, keep wondering, and always read the credits.